Well, hello. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, and this might be the last one that I do in this style, because this is actually the last little piece of driving video that I have. And I'll get more into that later, so just enjoy this drive out in the middle of nowhere, somewhere near Strawn, Texas. I just wanted to check in. And because I've been sick recently, and I'm just now finally 99% over that. But like I say, it's been a little while since the last one of these I did. And a whole lot has happened since the last one of these I did. What was the last one I did? It's been a couple of months anyway. And of course, that was just after I had taken my kind of extended break. I did basically nothing for 4 months and was just kind of getting back into putting videos up, and all of a sudden I put one up that kind of exploded there for a little while. Now it was tough to get it going because of course it was the casting the Iron Claw video. I just thought it might be fun to just look around, see if I could find some little known actors to cast the movie myself, even though they already had Zac Efron cast as Kevin Von Erich in that movie. I just thought it might be fun to look around, see if I can find some little known actors and to put in the other roles. And I talked a bit about wrestling and all that. And, of course, I was using some video. Now I have since figured out some things. I at first I thought I really WWE gave me a copyright claim, and I questioned if it was a legit claim. I didn't think they had the copyright. I'll tell you, I figured something out since then, because what it is World Class Championship Wrestling. They had 2 TV shows. They had the one that aired on Channel 39 out of Dallas. That was the show that was taped on Friday nights at the Sportatorium in Dallas, and that was also the syndicated show that went all over the world, except where I lived. Oddly enough, the people in Israel were watching that show. I couldn't watch it here because our little crappy cable system didn't have a channel that aired it. But we got to where I lived. We just got the Fort Worth shows, which was on Channel 11 out of Dallas. And the thing about the Fort Worth shows, and this shows just how different the time was. When Fort Worth would air the show, they would take that tape, and they just used the same tape. They didn't have a library of shows. They erased them all. So there was no library. So when the WWE bought the World Class Television Library, there was nothing from Fort Worth in that purchase. That's why the 5 things videos I've done, talking about the 5 World Class Championship Wrestling, which I guess it's 10 because I did 2 of them. 10 matches from World Class Championship Wrestling that WWE does not own because nobody owns them. The only reason there's anything out there is because people would tape them at home, and then they eventually uploaded those matches onto YouTube. Well, the thing is, the Channel 39 show, which was a syndicated show, which WWE does own, they would occasionally show a clip from the Saturday night show. And so I think that's where I was running into the problems. They happened to run a clip from the Fort Worth shows, and that's what I was using. That's why I was getting the copyright claims. So I think I have figured that out. But I had a lot of trouble getting, because I put the video up and it started, within just a couple hours, it was already, taking off, and I was getting a couple hundred views. I was like, hey, that's nice, And then I get the copyright claim. I was like, dadgummit, wouldn't you know? Every stinking time I get something that starts working, something's got to screw it up. I took it down, re-edited it, put it back up. Again, taking off again, getting a lot of views. It was up for a day or two that time. I got up around 300 views. And this is this is still their fault. This is still WWE messing with me here. A piece of video that they did not claim the first time, all of a sudden they decided to claim the second time. And like, you so-and-sos. That made me mad, because I was like, that gimmick, you could have claimed that the first time. And I thought about just leaving it up. I thought about disputing it, but I was like, okay, it's a few seconds of video that neither one of us shot, and I'm going to lose anyway, because it's me against a global corporation. Okay, and so I was like, okay, one more time. Took it down, re-edited it again, re-uploaded it, and of course that third time it didn't do that well at first. In a week I got like 60-something views. I'm like, of course, wouldn't you know? As well, that's just the way my luck goes, and went about my business. Well, after that video had been up for about 3 weeks, all of a sudden it just took off, and I checked, and I was like, wow, I'm almost at 1,000 views in like a day. And in a very short period of time, I mean, almost just like that, I got almost as much watch time on that one video in a week's time as I had on the entire channel in a year. And of course, as I've brought up before, I've wanted to center the channel on something while still leaving myself the room to do other things. Because as I've said before, if I concentrate on just one subject, one thing, I'll get bored with it. But I also don't want to start 15 different channels just to satisfy all my little whims. And the fact of the matter is, every time I do something on pro wrestling, it does pretty good. And I decided, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and keep following the Iron Claw and following the casting on that, and Iron Claw news and such as that. And I started having an idea, well, that is something that's kind of untapped. I had the idea to do some bios on some of the old world-class wrestlers. And I'm actually working on one of those right now on Buddy Roberts. And so while I'm not going to center the channel entirely on pro wrestling, I'm still going to leave myself the room to do other things. You're going to see a lot of pro wrestling on the channel. And again, I know not everybody's into pro wrestling, but then again, not everybody's into ghost hunting. Not everybody's into abandoned exploration. Not everybody's into geocaching, almost a geo-tracking, or pretty much anything else I've done on the channel. And there is an interest in the stuff I've done on pro wrestling. And it's kind of, as I said, I think there are things I can do that 100 other channels aren't already doing. So while I'm not going to make this a wrestling channel, it's going to be pretty heavy on the pro wrestling content. And just, the simple fact that other videos I've done recently that I thought, well, should do well, they really haven't. I did the one on Peter Mayhew, the graveside of Peter Mayhew. Played Chewbacca in Star Wars. That's been up about a month, and I've got 56 views. 5 things about NFL history you may not know. It's been up a couple of weeks. I worked on that video for 3.5 days, which, for anybody that may not be aware, I do everything myself. I find the video, I find the pictures, I write the script myself, I edit everything myself, put the whole thing together. It took me 3.5 days to do that 5 things about NFL history, and in 2 weeks I've got 61 views. So if I found something that I'm interested in doing, that other people are interested in watching, of course I've got to give it a shot. Now, like I say, it's I'll still pop up with something different every now and then. I'll leave that door open to do other things, but yeah, you're gonna see some pro wrestling stuff. And even if you're not a pro wrestling fan, maybe you'll find some of it interesting. But yeah, I put a deal on the community tab here a while back, but I thought, well, let me go ahead and officially say this, that we're gonna center more things on pro wrestling. And I thought it might be kind of nice to, like I said, I'm still tracking the Iron Claw, looking for news on that. I'll still have those updates, but I'm going to toss out some other stuff here and there. I'm going to go ahead and get back to work on this Buddy Roberts bio, and hopefully it'll be stuff that you'll all find interesting. Now, as far as writing with James, As I said, when I first started doing it, the whole point was to show just some of the scenery around here and show you where I've been going and all that. Well, when I first started it, I had my own business. I was traveling a little bit here and there, and I'm not really doing that anymore. It's pretty much just back and forth to work for me these days, and I don't want to give you the same scenery every time, and I don't really want to reuse a lot of old stuff either. But so I want to keep the name though. Riding with James. That was like the first regular segment I ever did on the channel. It was Riding with James. I want to somehow keep that name, but I may have to offer a different presentation. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with that. But the next time I do a Riding with James, it might be a little bit different, just to let the regulars know. Okay, well, that's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted to kind of let everybody know where my mind is on this. Like I said, I've just kind of been waiting to get over whatever this crud is. When I first got it, I thought, oh, this is just a little cold. If I'm lucky, I might be able to get over this in a day. And then here I am 2 stinking weeks later, and the thing's still kind of lingering just a little bit. But like I say, I'm mostly over it, so I think I might be able to go ahead and go forward with some of my plans. But okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the talk. I hope you enjoyed the ride. I hope you enjoyed the scenery. I hope you're enjoying the pro wrestling content. I've always tried to end it with something, either a promotion of a channel or something. Since this is the last one, I think I'm just going to give you about 20 seconds maybe not 20 seconds, maybe a little bit longer than that, of some unedited Riding with James video. Yeah, of course, you get the voiceover, put the music in the background. This is what you would hear if you were actually riding with James. I'll give you this a little clip of this. Let's see, let's go somewhere around Mineral Wells, Texas. This is just a little bit of unedited Riding with James video. Well, again, I hope you enjoyed the talk. Hope you enjoyed the scenery. Hope you enjoyed the ride. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, not necessarily in that order. And I will see you next time.